Rylan, what was it like in the locker room celebrating that and making the postseason?
It's a great feeling. It's a lot of smiles on our faces. At the beginning, there wasn't as many smiles, but no doubt. So the feeling is really good. The chemistry gets stronger. The want gets greater, and you just keep pressing for what's next. And we still have one more game, but we're looking forward to playoffs right now.
That different from last year when you had a 3% chance to get in on the final day and all that other stuff had to happen. Where now it's nice that you're in, but like you said, you're still looking for more to try to have that home playoff game.
We want to have a home playoff game. Playoffs was our number one, set what we wanted 6-7 games ago. No different than last year. Yeah, we had a 3% chance, but when the going gets tough, we know we have to dig in and push. And I think that it says a lot to our character and the guys in the room, and that how bad we want it, and from the growth from our first year to now, how much everyone is maturing, everyone's believing each other, believing the system, believing top down fans. So it's great.
How transition at the start of the 6-game win streak to have that collective buy-in, because you saw glimpses of it early on in the season, but it was just never fulfilled as we see it now.
You can't. Again, I've said it. You can't trade for it. You can't draft it. You can't buy it. It just happens when you guys start putting faith in each other. So there's you got to watch and want the guy beside you to succeed more than you want to succeed, and to do anything for him. And when that guy beside you is picking up when you're down, that is what brings us closer together, and that's what makes our team our team.
And Jeff, they held him to 2 goals. Did have a lot of shots, and just what were you seeing for the quality of shots for that Ottawa really had today? It seemed like you were in perfect position almost the entire night.
FT, greatest player in the world, one of the greatest players in the world. Might have had a few looks, but that's not a common game for Jeff. Our defense is so sound right now, and they're locking the best players off, and they're shutting them down. And when Jeff was shooting, it wasn't from anywhere dangerous, in my opinion. That just goes to show how good our defense is coming together, and how much they're making my job easier, and we're believing in each other again to keep a guy like that from having prime scoring areas.
How was the conversation today with Jake coming in for Reeser there on that back end, just bringing in another guy next man kind of mentality?
I've seen him at practice, asked him if he's in, if he's excited, and you could see, he's a younger guy, and he's got that fire in his belly, and you can see it in his eyes. You can see him lighten up that he's in. And Reeser, he's a heck of a leader, and I know for sure Reeser's talked to him and got him ready for it. And there's nothing Reeser can do. He's hurt right now, and I think Jake filled his spot really, really well, and he didn't look out of spot. And again, our defense came 5 strong.
How important do you feel it is not coasting this final game?
Very, very important not to coast in our final game. We started off one year hot. I think we won 6 in a row, and then we kind of faded at the end. It's very important that we peak here at the end of the season and then roll with that into playoffs. I think that if you asked every team in the league, if they had a choice whether to peak at the beginning or the end, obviously everyone wants to peak through the whole season, but I think everyone would be like, yeah, we need this not to coast, and then finish off on a high note.
What does it mean to play a playoff game here?
Huge. That would be massive. I know it would be massive for me personally, Dan Carey, our coaches, every guy in that room. The fans deserve it. They've stuck by us, and the seats are filling up more and more as we win. The feeling it would be like you're putting a cape on for sure when our fans get going and they get supporting us when we score a goal or make a save, win a draw, get a call back on a goal, things like that. It would be everything for us. And then again, it's a home floor advantage. That's hard to play against.
You guys have been on the same page recently, especially.
Yes.
In the beginning of the year, there were glimpses of it. What changed? What just made the mentality that everybody is just focused totally?
Right. What changed, I believe, is coming closer together, and then Mike Hazen reminding us, we've used up all of our lives essentially, right? Like our backs are against the wall, and there's nothing left that we can do except do it for each other and remind each other we're here. Again, when you go down, I'm going to pick you up. So I think just the importance of every game. Mike reminds us every practice, shoot around, that this is the biggest game of our career right now, and he's not wrong. And I think reminding ourselves of that, and then wanting to see the guy beside us succeed. So I think that is just flowing. It's shooting around. We're winning. We're happy. You know, guys are hanging out. There's guys that I probably would have never met in my life and probably would have never crossed paths and never been friends with, and now I'm grateful to have that, and I think those things just make you want to do more for another guy.
How much like this grow your defensive unit's confidence when, you know, the offense has been putting up outrageous numbers week after week, and then they have maybe an average or normal day for the offense, and you guys just absolutely shut down on D?
Defense has been, I said it out there, they're dogs right now. Like they're unreal. They're even, there's guys in the room, they got welts on their legs, their backs, their chest, their arms. You know, they're blocking shots. Some guys get hit in the melon. I'd like to see how many block shots, you know, our defense has. You know, and when there's a loose ball, we have that, you know, that grit, that dog in us to go get it. And we're coming up with a lot of loose balls. You know, we're not shying away from contact. We're getting in there. You know, another guy goes in, he's there with them, coming up with those, sticking to the system, sticking to what Patty wants us to do, believing it, asking me asking them, sticking to those things. So I think that with our defense coming together, it's been, as much as our offense is a staple to our team, I believe, right now, it's the defense, the consistency is huge for confidence in myself, confidence in a goal scorer. Never scored a goal in my life. Wouldn't know what it's like to play out the outdoor. But, you know, you could see it when the defense, when you know that you're going to shut them down, and they're not going to have another, and the offense are going to have another opportunity. They can play with a little bit more ease, work with each other, you know, and not panic. And then when you're on the bench, it's all positive, it's all supportive. We'll get the next one. So the defense are picking our whole team up, in my opinion.